Have you ever stood at the edge of a choice where one shadow could swallow your entire future? The kind of moment that feels like the Colosseum's sand under your feet, thumbs up or down from fate itself. That's the raw pulse of Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3 Episode 10, Tokyo Colony No. 1, Part 4, which dropped on Crunchyroll on March 12, 2026. Right in the heart of the Culling game arc, after Yuji's gut-wrenching trial with Higuruma, this episode hands the spotlight to Megumi Fushiguro and asks, what price are you willing to pay to keep the people you love alive? The air tastes metallic, like blood mixed with rain on concrete. The wind carries distant screams. And suddenly you're not watching. You're there, heart hammering, wondering if the next step you take will be your last. Picking up straight from the tension of the previous episode, Megumi finds himself deep inside Tokyo Colony No. 1. A smooth-talking player named Reggie Star offers him a deal. Join the group, survive the coming storm Kenjaku is planning. But the offer hides teeth. Remy, the girl who guided him, reveals her true colors. An ambush explodes around Megumi like a trap snapping shut. Explosions rip the air, receipts turn into weapons, and shadows begin to stir. The episode builds to a jaw-dropping final move that leaves everything hanging on a knife's edge. No filler, just raw survival in a game where rules can change with a single point. Streaming exclusively on Crunchyroll, sub and dub available. You feel the weight of every previous choice. Yuji's mercy, the new rules about points, pressing down like history's invisible hand. And yet, you still don't have all the answers. That itch to know what happens next, it's already under your skin. This episode moves the Culling game forward like a chess master sliding the final piece into place. After Yuji's battle with Higuruma and the new rule that stops points from killing, the story shifts focus to Megumi's solo path. Reggie explains Kenjaku's hidden bomb, the real endgame once only the strong remain, and tries to recruit him. The ambush hits hard, coordinated attacks from Reggie, Remy, Iori Hazunoki, and more. Fans on Reddit and X have been asking about one cloudy moment, why Higuruma's points still showed 100 even after the rule change. Simple manga truth, the rule update prevents future points from kills, but existing points stay locked in. The Kogain, the game's announcer, doesn't instantly refresh every display. It's a small detail, but it shows how the Culling game keeps players off balance on purpose. No plot holes, just the cruel genius of the system. Pacing is relentless yet perfectly balanced. Quiet talk, sudden violence, desperate strategy, and that final cliffhanger. You feel the story tightening like a noose, and you cannot look away. Megumi is no longer the quiet boy from Season 1. Here he smiles faintly thinking of Yuji, then turns ice cold when survival demands it. His Zenin blood shows, the same cold efficiency that once terrified him. Reggie's smug, let's team up, speech cracks against Megumi's calm refusal. Remy's betrayal stings like a friend stabbing you in the back during a war. I personally was struck by how Megumi's choices feel human. He doesn't enjoy killing, but he will if it protects what matters. That growth hits deeper than any power-up. You see the boy who once hesitated now calculating moves like a general who has already accepted the cost. Power isn't just strength, it's knowing when to use it. Morality blurs when the game forces you to kill or be killed, echoing every war in history where the strong survive became the only law. Sacrifice isn't grand speeches. It's quietly deciding whose life is worth more than your own comfort. Despair whispers that alliances are fake, yet hope flickers in Megumi's refusal to give up on his friends. The episode doesn't preach. It shows you the ash on your tongue after the explosion and asks, would you do the same? Lines land, like punches. Reggie's casual, we're all just trying to live, feels like every politician who ever promised safety while sharpening the knife. Megumi's replies are short, sharp, and heavy. No wasted words. Every sentence carries the weight of what's coming. You'll replay them in your head long after the credits. Studio Mappa once again proves they are unmatched. Episode director work under season director Shota Gashizono delivers fluid, creative choreography, bird's-eye shots of the battlefield, close-ups on trembling fists, elastic motion that makes every shadow feel alive. Colors are dark and moody, deep purples and blacks for Megumi's technique, sudden bright flashes of explosions. The stillness before each strike feels heavier than the hits themselves. Every frame tells you, this is beauty born from violence. Angles shift like a predator circling prey, low shots making Reggie loom, high angles showing Megumi's isolation. Editing is crisp, quick cuts during chaos, lingering moments when Megumi decides his next move. Tension never drops. The OST, still composed by Yoshimasa Terui, becomes another character. Low strings hum like gathering storm clouds, then explode into frantic beats when fists fly. Silence after an explosion hits harder than any music. You hear Megumi's breathing, the crunch of concrete, your own heartbeat. Motifs from earlier earlier seasons return twisted, reminding you how far we've come. Yuma Uchida as Megumi Fushiguro delivers the soul of the episode. His voice starts steady, then cracks with pain and rises with quiet fury. You feel every wound in his timbre. The supporting cast, especially Reggie's smug confidence, nails the betrayal and arrogance perfectly. Their performances make you forget you're watching. You're living it. This episode left scars. The betrayal tastes bitter. The moment Megumi decides to fight alone feels like watching a friend walk into a burning building you can't follow. And that final activation, when shadows answer his call in a way no one expected, sparks pure wonder mixed with dread. Collides destinies like two trains on the same track. You're left asking the same questions humanity has asked since the first war. How much of yourself are you willing to lose to protect the light you love? I anticipate the next episode like a man waiting for sunrise after the longest night. Some might say the Culling game's rules and new characters slow the emotional punch compared to Shibuya. Fair point, the lore is dense, but that density is deliberate. It mirrors the game's own cruelty, overwhelming you until only the sharpest survive. Mappa's animation carries any slow moments so beautifully that the flaw becomes part of the experience. Episode 10 is a visual and emotional masterpiece that elevates the Culling game arc. Its strengths, breathtaking fights, Megumi's growth, that unforgettable cliffhanger, far outweigh any small narrative weight. It absolutely succeeds in what it set out to do, make you feel the cost of survival. Now the shadows are moving, the domain is open, and you're already standing inside it. Will you step forward with Megumi, or will you look away? The only way to know is to watch, right now, because some stories don't wait for you to be ready. They drag you in, and this one just tightened its grip.